हाय सो आफ्टर इंक्लाइन ट्रेन हम लोग यहाँ पे आ गए हैं। यह है रेकुन माउंटेन और यहाँ पे एक केवन्स है। आपको याद है लास्ट टाइम भी हम एक केवन्स में गए थे जहाँ पे बोटिंग किया था। यहाँ पे दूसरी टाइप का केवन्स है जो अंदर से जाना है। गाइडेड टूर है, हमारे साथ हमारा गाइड होगा। आइए देखते हैं कैसा है।
And then you're just going to light the way for people in front of you. Okay. All right. So we're all going to gather around here, you guys. We're going to make a little half circle so we can all see this nice board right here. So welcome. You guys come a little closer. Welcome to Raccoon Mountain Caverns. We're going to be doing the Crystal Palace walking tour today. We're going to be following this green path right here. But as you can see, there's a lot more to this cave that we're not going to see on this tour. Now, we do offer two different crawling tours. We have a 2-hour one, which is going to be following this light blue path, and we're going to end up going past the music room here. So we'll go this way. And then we have a 3-hour crawling tour, which goes all the way to the waterfall and back down here as well. Now, the name crawling tour is a little bit deceptive. We're not crawling the entire time, of course, but there will be some crawls that you have to do, and then there will be a lot more crawls that are optional. So if it's something you think you might be interested in, I can tell you guys more about that at the end. And I also will mention that we are going to be walking by the entrances to our crawling tours, so you can see those squeezes and see for yourself if that's something you would be interested in doing. What you are going to see on this tour. And these are the stems of these sea lilies, which are actually not plants. They're animals that live at the bottom of the ocean floor. And then these guys are also found at the bottom of the ocean floor. And I really want you guys to see this nice pointed angle right here, because that's what distinguishes it from some of the other like rough edges in the rock. And I just want you guys to see that now. So when I point it out later, you can be like, oh yeah, you already showed me that. Drilling animals. Now, is anyone here afraid of spiders? Well, I'm so sorry to say, but we actually have some of the world's biggest spiders here, and they do like to jump. I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding, you guys. And he's going to leave this cave at night, go through those cracks right there, and go eat some bugs for us. Yeah. And we do believe this is a male because the males like to be alone in caves, while the females are up above with the babies up in the trees.
Stay and they don't get scared.
Yeah. They're really stinking cute.
Very good.
अभी इधर अंदर का नजारा डार्क in here.
Then you guys can stand in front of me or to the side of me, it doesn't matter. But you can go all the way up there if you want to hold on to the rail or stay right there. All right, you guys. So this is our Crystal Palace room. It was given that name because there's a lot of new formations in here and calcium, which when you shine your light on like this, it can give it like a crystal effect. But it's not crystals, sadly. Now, this rock up above us is limestone rock. This is a pretty porous rock. So, a long, long, long time ago, before this cavern right here, this big old opening existed, it was actually solid limestone. Now, limestone is porous, so water came through the top, through the cracks and crevices in this limestone. It went through these cracks and crevices, and the water mixed with the water was acidic and it actually dissolved away at the limestone, and it created this big old opening that you see here. All right, so we have some formations up here called soda straws. These guys are actually hollow, and they are going to grow bigger and they're going to start to fill in. And you see this guy right here that's this carrot shape? Yeah. That is going to get bigger as well until it forms this guy. And this is a nice stalactite. Now, fun fact about these soda straws is the first owner of this cave, he actually would pick these guys off and he would sell them to the first guest with a nice bottled Coke, which actually made his guests pretty sick. All right, so I'm actually a caver. We have a saying to help us remember the difference between stalactites and stalagmites. So we say stalactites hang tight from the ceiling and stalagmites might poke you in the butt. And that saying will make sense once you're crawling back in the cave, because that's no fun, let me tell you. A stalactite and a stalagmite meeting together in the middle. Now we actually got this guy tested and they found that he grows 1 inch around every 80 to 100 years. So if you guys do the math, he's super duper old. And that's just this formation. We cannot tell the age of this cave from one formation. And we actually have another formation that grows a lot faster than this guy. Now, if you take a look at this white crystally stuff, that is calcium carbonate. And it's a sign of new growth, which means this guy right here is still growing. I want you guys to remember that because I will quiz you on it later, all right? All right. In the early 1900s, this land above us, or above this cave, was actually used as farmland. And so the story goes that the farmers, they had cows here, and the cows would come by the rocks in the mountainside during the summer because cold air would come out from between the rocks, because the cave is always 58 degrees. And so they had an idea that there was a cave here. They just didn't know how big it was. So word got out and a guy came along and he actually explored this cave here. And they came in and they saw that this cave actually opened up to a huge room. And then word got out to this guy named Leo Lambert, who actually he actually owned Ruby Falls. I think you guys mentioned that you tried to go there earlier, Ray? Yeah. So he owned Ruby Falls, and he was like, well, this seems like an awesome cave. I'm going to open it up to tourists. And so that's exactly what he did. He built that entrance there, and he bought it up, and he had tours here. Now, during his tours, see that? Yeah. All right, you guys, we're going to keep on going. Now, this is the part where the flashlight will come in handy. We're going to go down these steps here. And I want you guys to watch your head at the bottom. It does get a little low. I have to duck myself. Oh. You can't say I didn't warn you.
I know. That's why I got a hat.
All right, we're going to stop in front of this water feature.
Why are those lanterns kept?
What?
I see a lantern there. I know.
We have that for decoration. Also shows everyone what they would have used to explore this cave. So you guys are welcome to step up to here. This was actually made by the Smith brothers. It's not natural to the cave. Now, they created this as a wishing well. They would have their guests throw their coins in, and at the end of the night, they actually collected the coins except for the pennies. Now, does anyone here know what pennies are made from? Copper. I heard copper. Y'all are correct. So you see this green coloring right here? That was the color of this water due to all the pennies that were left here over the years. And this was actually very toxic for the salamanders. And so we had a scientist come through here and he said to the person that owned the company at the time, hey man, you need to get rid of all of those pennies. It's not good for the salamanders. And so they had the guides at the time remove the pennies from the water, and they had to take the water, the yucky green water, get it out of here and fill it back up with water way back in the cave so that the salamanders could come back. And
Um,
all right, we're going to stop under this rock right here. If I could have you stand right here for me, sir. Right here. All right, thank you. Yeah, we're just going to stand right here. We're going to talk about this. So we call this a guano rock. Do you guys see the guano head?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so behind this rock, there's actually a hole or an entrance to this cave that's about the size of a softball. Now, it is not big enough for us to crawl through, but it is big enough for cats to crawl through. And I see that because we actually had one of our campground kitties. She was actually born on top of this rock about 12 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah. Did you guys get a chance to see some of our cats? All right.
Domino.
Domino, yeah. Domino's a sweetie. Also, there's this white bacteria that grows on this rocks that you see. Now, the crickets actually like to munch on that. I'm going to try to find a cave cricket for you guys. We have one right up there. Do you guys see it? Right there? Right there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we usually have more, but these guys are going to munch on this white bacteria stuff. And then we'll have salamanders hang out around here because, oh, there's one little guy, because they like to munch on the cave crickets. Now up ahead, there is a rock lit up in green. We call it anvil rock. Please watch your head going under this guy. All right, we're going to make a quick stop here. I just think this is a really pretty area to point out, and I'm going to quiz you guys. Do you know what is being deposited here?
Calcium carbonate.
Calcium carbonate. Very good. And you know what it's a sign of? Yes, new growth. Very good, you guys. Y'all listen. Good listeners. Now we're going to talk about this body of water right here. You guys are welcome to stand up here. I'm going to stand off to the side. Now we call this guy reflection pool. It contains manganese, which gives it its reflective properties, and also milk and magnesia, which is a common ingredient in laxatives. It's actually the main ingredient. They found that 1 cup of this water is equal to about 5 cups of the strongest laxative you can buy on the market. So you do not want to drink this water. I actually have, you definitely don't. So I actually have a story in a little bit that I'm going to tell you about some boys who drank this water. But before I do that, I actually have a switch here that allows me to turn off the lights to all the cave. So if you guys are okay with that, I'd like to turn the lights off. Now, I recommend before we do this that if you're worried about getting nervous, maybe hold the hand of someone that makes you feel brave. And also,
Is this the one which takes 2.5 hours or something?
the what?
Is this the tour which takes like 2.5 hours?
Yeah, well, it's the entrance to both tours, the 2-hour, 2.5-hour one, and the 3-hour one.
Wow.
You need to crawl through this?
Yes, and this is going to be the easy way to go in and out.
Is it lighted or is it fully dark?
It's fully dark.
Oh no.
Now, I would just be careful going down here. We do have steps here. I would ask that everyone hold on to the rails for me. Have our breezy entrance to our crawling tour. So we had easy breezy. The next one's going to be squeezy.
Whoa. How far does it go?
How far?
Uh-huh.
The crawling tours? I forget how far. I do know they're 1 to 2 hours, but this cave goes back about 5 to 7 miles, like this whole cave.
Wow.
All right, we're actually going to bend down here and look under here. This is our squeezy entrance.
So this is another entrance?
Yes, in fact, this is the entrance that we take all of our guests who are interested in our crawling tours. This is where they're going to enter the cave, because if you get psyched out here and you can't do it, it's better to find out here instead of way back in the cave. And I will tell you that it's only about a 3 to 4 foot crawl back there, and then you can stand up right after that.
So you just like belly crawl?
Yes. Belly army crawl.
So how many times do you have to do that throughout?
The story goes, there was a group of Boy Scouts that was sleeping here for our overnight tours. And 2 of the boys thought it would be a good idea to sneak past their troop leader and have a drinking competition at the reflection pool. This was very bad for them. It ended up poorly. They actually were running out of the cave crying and making little stalagmites on their way out, if you know what I mean. And that wasn't all. The tour guides at the time, they had to clean that up. It doesn't really go away inside of a cave. And the overnight tours were banned.
That was the last one, huh?
That was the last one. All right, you guys, we're going to gather around this area right here. All right, so we like to talk about this area because it's a good area to see why we don't touch anything. You can see that there's water dripping from here, calcium carbonate's being deposited, and this guy is growing. But unfortunately, for whatever reason, this guy is not growing. And we know that it's because someone did touch it and grab it. We don't know why. Maybe it was during the overnight tour. Someone might have slept under there or leaned against here. Who knows? But it's been touched a lot and it's no longer growing. And that's pretty sad because you can obviously see there's a lot of growth happening beside it, and it's wet. So it's getting the right stuff on it. It's just not sticking, if that makes sense. So that's why we don't touch anything with our hands. Cyanoid, you guys see that? And we have them all over the ceiling, and we have them right here as well. And then we have a blastoid right here. This is where you can see like that diamond shape. You guys see it right here? And then we have a blastoid, or the inside of a blastoid. It looks like a nail. It's not. And the reason we stop here is so I can show you guys these fossils. Fossils are cool, but also I'd like to mention that what this means is that before this cave even existed, there was a shallow ocean up above us. And this would have been the ocean floor right here, because these guys are only found at the bottom of the ocean. You can see up inside them, because unfortunately when they allowed tourists to come back here in the beginning, they were allowed to pick the ends off of them, and they could buy them at the gift shop and keep them as a souvenir. Yeah,
It's just crazy to think that people would ever think like that, you know? Like,
yeah, well, they didn't know any better, but now that we do, we got to do better. That's what I like to say. All right, you guys, we're going to keep on going. All right, you guys. We have some clay right over here. You guys are more than welcome to touch it. This is the only part of the tour in which you can touch.
That's clay.
Yeah. All right, you guys, we're going to keep on going through here. All right, and now we're walking back into the Crystal Palace tour, or into the Crystal Palace room. Go ahead and make sure that you hold on to the rails and that we're being safe as we head down.
no, keep going. I'm just telling you, I won't let you fall backwards. Thank you so much.
Layer. Now this guy's pretty cool because he's going to grow on the same base. All these stalactites are formed on the same base. And so what that means is that one day they're actually going to get too heavy and they're going to start to peel away from the ceiling and eventually fall. Now when they start to peel away, they make a popping sound. It's going to take 1 to 2 weeks for them to actually fall down. And it's actually good that they make that popping sound because it's a warning to us that, hey, they're about to fall. And you definitely don't want to be under these guys when they do fall. Now, when they all fall down, they're going to all fall together. And then they're going to create a cave scab, which is what you guys are going to see right here. And there's another one right there. And the cycle will repeat itself. You can already see this guy is starting to form little soda straws. Yeah. And then we have a pretty rare formation right here. We call this guy a cave shield. All right, you guys, we're going to come up these stairs right here. And I want you guys to listen very carefully to my instructions. We're going to start walking up these stairs, and then we're actually all right, you guys, we're going to be talking about this formation right here. So this guy right here is called Grandfather Formation. And I really like to talk about him. I think he's super cool. So I call him Grandfather Formation because they originally thought he was the biggest formation in here or they thought he was the oldest formation in here because he's certainly the biggest. But they now realize that he's actually just growing much faster than the rest. So there's a couple of clues which tell us he's growing faster. First and foremost, you see his coloring, how he's much white and creamier than all the other guys around him. Well, that indicates to us that more calcium carbonate is being deposited and that there's a bunch of new growth happening. And then the other clue is that all this water, this slipperiness happening on the stairs, that's actually from him. He's got some sort of water source directly above him that's making him grow faster. Himself, he was the first owner of this cave. He built it as a way, as an altar actually. He would have weddings here. The bride and groom would stand up there and he would officiate the wedding. And he did that as a way to make more money from this cave. He would have them walk down the stairs over there. They'd walk down and they'd come out of this little rock structure right here, and then they'd go through the tunnel of love. Their family would stand right here and wish them all congratulations. Now, our company actually does this still. We have weddings. We actually had a couple message us and said that they had their first date here and they'd love to have a wedding here. And so actually when I interviewed here, they were having a wedding in here. The only thing that's changed is that we have them stand right here instead of up there. All right. All right, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the tour. My name is Katie. If you'd like to leave me a review or a tip, I do accept tips or via Venmo, Cash App, and of course, cash. But that's cave baking starting to form. And then once you've seen that, I'll have you go ahead and walk over to that blue sign for me.